guys, and welcome. I am the Seven Swords, and we are in Factorio. But we are not in Void Block. I have updated. I now have Space Age. And it turns out that if you go to Space Age with a before Space Age game, it doesn't work. You get a bunch of errors. Um, it does a thing where it's like you shouldn't play a game that's before Space Age with Space Age installed because of technology changes and stuff like that. I also decided not to do it as a void block anymore. We kind of saw the theme of a void block where it's just a bunch of basically trying to get off of that small island. So we're starting on a normal world. It's basically everything is basically vanilla. I have not played through Factorio Space Age yet, so I wanted it to be basically as close to the base game as far as spawning and everything goes, since I don't know what I would want to change anyways. We do not have enemies turned on because the time alteration mod that I have installed does not like enemies. It will glitch out heavily if I destroy an enemy. It has a chance to glitch out when I destroy enemy bases, so we're not going to be having enemies. But we do have enemy bases turned on, as I do know those have something to do with Space Age, I think, and it is also an option, so I wanted to go with it. Can't see any of the enemy bases here, but I do have them turned on, and they are supposedly not far from us, I would think. Luckily I was able to fix our quality issue. The video you'll get that you would have gotten alongside this, I'll probably release this on the same day, maybe just a couple hours later. But the video that you guys would have gotten on Thursday of Factorio, that was the last Factorio C block you guys will see, was edited by a friend of mine. If you guys really wanted to see C block, like if that's what you guys really wanted to see, let me know. I will go back to C block. I will go ahead and go back to C block, but it's not, I felt like with how slow that is and the fact that we had to do a restart, that we could just go with this. I am willing to go back if you guys want me to, but I felt like that it would not matter too badly what we were doing as long as we were doing void block. Really? There we go. Hopefully we get pretty far pretty fast today. I tried recording this before and got a little bit of a distance, but then the recording messed up, and so I had to cancel that and restart from the beginning. I'm gonna do a little bit of copper, not much. I do plan on doing I do have a restriction for myself this time. Basically, the restriction is I'm not allowed to. I'm only allowed to handcraft the first 15 red science. After that, I have to set up automation for it, and I have to craft it in the automated buildings. The reason I'm allowing myself to craft 15 of them is because you need some to get started, and I'm not entirely sure how many you need, but I know that that will be more than enough. This is kind of an annoyance for this, but we will be able to deal. I probably will play on 4x speed for a little bit. I do apologize if it is a little bit of a stutter. Hopefully it will not be that bad. Copper. But this will at least let us do a little bit faster than what we were originally doing. We still have Voidcraft installed. We're just not doing the C block part of it. We also have all the other mods I had installed. The only thing that's changed is that C block was taken out. So we're still going to see Voidcraft. We're still going to see a few of the other things I do. We're just also now going to go to space. I'm happy to say, because I've seen a lot of the space stuff that I like. I have not played through Space Tech very far. The playthrough I didn't even get to space or to anything that felt new. I only got to a little bit until I was like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just record this. We're going to do the 15 that we're allowed to do. And then we're going to just go ahead and get straight into automation so that we then can avoid doing any more handcrafting. Now, I cannot handcraft red science packs. What I will allow myself to do is I will allow myself to handcraft items. I'm just not allowed to go around handcrafting all the science packs, like I have a tendency to do sometimes. That needs to get moved. That happened to me That happened to me on another playthrough, and I was so confused for a while what that symbol meant, because I'm so not used to running of the ore patches running out of ore. I don't know if it's because I usually am using them in different ways, or if it's just been that long since I've played a legitimate game with the normal stuff like the ore patches and stuff like that. These are a lot faster than I remember. Maybe not. I don't know. Luckily with Voidcraft we can avoid a bit of the we can avoid a little bit of the problematics of being so far away from water. I can literally just put one of the void forges down up here and have it do coal. This one we're not going to do coal. We're going to say just coal. You'll notice that this changed. We now get spoilage and a new form of carbon. Spoilage is space age and carbon is space age. It originally produced, I think it was wood and carbon, but it was a different type of carbon. We're gonna go with probably logistics next, since I need logistics to get automation and running. But we're not going to be able to craft any more science packs, so we're going to have to start working towards getting an actual crafting system up and running, which won't take too long. I'm going to get a little bit more our miner drills down with some furnaces so that I can get a little bit more iron. Don't have a lot, but I have a little bit of resources to do some crafting, so that's what we're going to do. I will plan on increasing this. This isn't going to be our full crafting. This obviously is going to be just what we're going to be using for this. I'm just doing this so I can get started. Because I do need to get to red science as well, logistics as soon as possible, so we can get a smelting stack as quickly as possible, an actual legitimate smelting stack. Did it. I'm going to come close. I'm probably going to come close to clicking that a couple of times. I'm not going to consider the run lost if I do. I'm just going to avoid it as much as I can, just so that I can get used to automating things, and it encourages me to automate things. While we wait, let my robots gobble up some of this forest. I have some wood, because I know wood is used for the Voidcraft items, the Voidcraft technology packs. And a lot of it's going to be very similar to what we normally do, or at least what I normally do. I'm going to be using Voidcraft to help supplement my ore intake. Obviously not as much as the Void Block, but I will do it with some of it. And put these in there. I do eventually want to get to these, but we need iron sticks, which comes from a red or a red and green science pack. So we might just go straight into. We're just gonna go straight into green science packs. I obviously will have to set up a crafting set for them, but that's not going to be too hard. I'd like to get to power poles and other stuff like that. Obviously that will be helpful if we can do that. But I will do a small crafting grid, or not a small crafting grid, but a small smelting stack to start us off. Basically build the basics of a smelting grid. I don't know why I keep wanting to call it a smelting grid. We are going to do just one side of the belt. We're not going to do both sides of the belt, because I don't plan on making these very big. So let's go ahead and copy this. B to make to double it. I'm just going to use this for iron. Need a little bit more power poles. The fact that you can click and drag is so useful with this. But there we go. Now we're cooking iron as a very normal process instead of the usual having to deal with only getting one chest at a time. Technically still do have to go with a couple of more things. I'm going to go with electric miners next so we can get the electric mining out of the way. Because then that'll give us an easier source of iron. Even though we have a good source of iron now, but that'll give us an even better source of iron. And do a few more iron plates. Go ahead and do this. chest here for copper, but it looks like I'm not able to, which is fine. Doesn't go through copper nearly as fast as it goes through iron. And if I get enough copper to fill its inventory, that'll be more than enough to have it running for a while. At least to get us to electric mining drills. We're gonna do another one. I forgot to create the build for this. More copper. And put this there. There, you can go there, you can go there, you can go there. You can go here. Go ahead and grab another underground belt. I'm gonna go ahead and break these for now, because I'm just trying to get enough to get a system started so I can transfer copper and iron over to that. The next one I want is steel processing, so we can actually get some steel to get the steel we need for the stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and just get a couple of these. Don't need these anymore. I don't plan on having these be very efficient. I don't plan on using these electric miners for long. I plan on just using them until we get to bots. Because we have the mining bots, which are basically like little me's that run around and mine. But, like I said before, we need to get to iron sticks before I can use them. So, for now, we're just going to be using this process. Which I do know that that's going to be more than that needs, but that's fine for me. I would rather have this have more than it needs than not have enough. With copper and coal, it's a little different. With copper, it's I will not need as much process because it's not going to give me as much. I'm not going to need as much coal. As far as copper goes, pretty much the same thing. We're not going to need as much, so I'm not as worried about it. At least I'm wrong. And like I said, we're going to be moving over to the mining grids as soon as possible, so it's not going to be as necessary for now. We'll go with fast inserter since I'm still not ready to make green science yet. I normally would go with green science so I can start making green science by hand, but again, I'm not allowed myself to make any more science packs by hand. And like I said, that's more of a personal thing. I really want to get better at actually automating things. I do believe it'll make things faster for us. We're going to go ahead and do this, just so I don't have to move that power pole. There's also probably other things I could do to make this more efficient. I'm not the type of person to do that. I'm the type of person to just build a system that works and deal with it until I can eventually evolve past it. Especially when it's these early systems of just getting the base started. I won't be so worried about getting down ratios right or doing anything like that. I'm just going to worry about getting the process built. Once the process is built and I'm starting to use it, then I can start working on optimization. Then by then I'll have enough stuff to actually be able to freely build and process what I need to process. I'm also trying not to do mixed ore patches. So I'm trying not to get any of that copper into with the coal, because I don't want to have to like filter it out. Kind of surprised it's keeping up. I would have expected it to be too much by now. And these are backwards. Alright, let's go get the power system better. Go ahead and cut this, just so I can place it down here. Then we're going to go ahead and pick up this. Probably don't need power yet, but I'd rather build more power than we need for a while. Also gonna have to move the or not move, but redesign the coal setup, which is fine by me. Put it over here so that it's more easily to update it, or update the power grid at least. There. Ease. This is a pretty song. So you will only take out coal. You will make coal. And grab a few more of these. And do this, and then put this coal in here. And now we have hopefully what will be a infinite coal setup that can keep up with it. It might not, but if it doesn't, we can always fix it later. Let's give this some more iron and some more copper so I can keep researching. Got a little bit of a smelting system going. The next one we're going to do, since I want to have it since we probably should get it anyways, it's going to be radar. Not really something I need, but it's something to keep the machine busy while I set up green science, which I need more copper. Copper is the lowest thing you need, but I always think that, so I always have so little copper on me. At least for the beginning of the game. We'll make green science. Again, I will be making a better system than this eventually. As of right now, I'm just setting this up to be able to be done. A lot of that is what this is just getting it done. Oh wait, no. This one needs to be ears, and you need to be belts. You need to be yellow circuits, which also need, or yellow inserts, which also needs gears. It also needs iron. Probably be a lot easier if I set it up over there instead of up over here. Actually, that's exactly what we're gonna do. Not mean to do that. Oh, kind of meant to do it, kind of didn't. Didn't mean to do it. Didn't mean to take all of that. Not used to the bots being this slow. It's always a pain when I have to play a game and have them be their legitimate speed. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this over here. So you need green circuits as well, which actually, if that's the case. Iron. You need iron. You're going to make, oops, you're going to make green circuits. And then you need to make wire. Then you can come from here. And now, in order to make this more efficient, actually, what I should do is I should do this. This will help us get off this whole needing to hand feed almost anything. I do need to find a way to get, I will need to find a way to get copper to here. But I can do that quite easily by doing this. Then doing this. A lot of people might say that this was not necessary. I could have just set up a very much more less spaghetti system, which is probably true. I probably could have. But this is also me trying to set it up with as little resources as I can. This also needs iron. So to get to there, get the iron to there. If I put this here, I can put that there. And then that will bring iron over there. Which, what I can do, since this would be better for this to be like this, green circuits. It's not going to be the fastest, but it is going to work. And that's 30 minutes. So, now we have green science and red science automated. Hopefully we can get to having a proper smelting setup in the next episode. Most likely we will. Once we get a proper smelting set up, then we won't have to worry about doing it this way. But for now, we are able to make science and we're able to have it run. I'll be collecting resources, doing more preparation for moving on to a proper smelting setup in the next episode. But until then, if you like the episode, hit the like button. If you want to see more of my content, hit that subscribe button, and feel free to join me on for my streams on 10 o'clock EST for Arma, or if it's not Arma, I will find something else to stream. But I should be streaming Arma with my friends as long as we still are doing our ops. Until then, have fun. Bye.